Hi, everybody. It's Jill here with Illuminating Women, and this is our coffee break and connect time. And I want to welcome all of you to this call, and thank you for joining in. Today, I want you to meet a very vital person into the functionality and in the family and in the structure of Illuminating Women. And this amazing woman is the admin for Illuminating Women. She's the one you'll probably see if when we met in person at the front door, taking your credit cards, giving you a smile, welcoming you, and then the one that you get the emails back. And so people just don't really know, who is this Sharon North? And how did this Sharon North come to you? And all of that good stuff. So I thought, what a wonderful opportunity to invite and let you see who is this Sharon North. So Sharon, I want to welcome you here today and thank you for coming. And let's talk a little bit. I would like you to share a little bit about your background, where you've been, and how you made this shift, like a lot of us, pivot and shift, and how you're surviving now with the pandemic, and what is it is you do. Because one of the reasons you came in as an admin for me is I was getting coaching with Jessica Butts, and she has a great book that says, don't do what you suck at, and don't be in your back seat. And oftentimes we are trying to be the cook, bottle washer, and the waiter. And we women think we could do it all. Well, guess what? When we start doing that, we get into our back seat and then we're not very functional. So it was really because of her coaching that made me realize how much I needed help. And so I reached out to you and we had a conversation, and you ended up joining the Illuminating Women team. And I just would like you to share a little bit about who you are, what services that you offer, why do you do what you do? And so that women can understand that sometimes that support can make us not only happy, healthy, but some money. So anyway, go ahead, Sharon, and thank you for coming and sharing today.
Okay, well, let's see. I worked for many years in corporate America and supported executive managers across the United States. I worked virtually for almost 20 years. And when I was lucky when I started, in those 15 years that I worked with Bank of America, I had two bosses. And I was lucky whenever they made a change, they took me with them. And so when one retired, I stayed with the other one. And when our department was going to be closing down, I decided I didn't want to work in corporate America anymore. And 3 days later, after my job ended, my father-in-law got sick. And I took time off to take care of him. I got a home care aide license, and I took care of him. And as he got better, I had more time on my hands. And I thought, I really don't want to go back to work for a big company anymore. So I got my real estate license and started helping my husband, but that really isn't what I wanted to do either. So my old boss that had retired called me and said, can you do a few things for me? I'm starting up a business. I want to work a little part-time, but I need somebody to do my marketing and set up my computer and just kind of get me organized. And so I said, sure. So I started doing that. And once I got him up and rolling, I thought, I really like this. So I got another client. I went on Craigslist, or actually it wasn't Craigslist, I think it was Indeed, and found another client and interviewed with her and got hired. And she was a person who English wasn't her main language. So she needed somebody to help her with emails and to help do newsletters, and she wanted to grow her business. She had a business where she taught art, and she wanted to get in some schools and set up classes for after school. So we started growing her business, and once I kind of got her leveled off, I had more time on my hands, so I thought I'd go get another client, and that's when I met Jill. I found her ad, and I applied for it, and I had taken some time to go visit her website, loved what she was doing, and I thought, even if I don't get this job, I really would love to get involved with these women. They just look like they're doing something really neat. It was a time in my life when things were changing and I was kind of growing, and they just looked like the people that I really wanted to kind of be involved with. So I interviewed with Jill, I got the job, and that's kind of how this whole thing started. after that, I had a conversation with Jill. Actually, I guess it was during the interview, and she said, you know, you could just have your own popsicle stand or lemonade stand and just kind of get clients. And I had never thought of that. And I thought I could do that. So that's what I did. After I spent some time getting Jill organized and getting some procedures done, and to where I didn't need to be as available, or I was always available, but I didn't need to dedicate as much time to her. I thought, I'm going to add another client. So then I started to advertise. Um, Jill was one of my biggest cheerleaders. I did her conference and I had a booth there, and I reached out to everybody who came to my booth, and I took on another client. Some of my clients are small. I just do a project for them here and there. Some of them are big, where I do events and large scale projects for them, and it's ongoing work every month. So I pick and choose them according to what my availability is. I don't add anybody when I'm working with a new client, because it takes a while to get a rhythm with who you work with. And I find that I like to devote as much time as I can when I take on somebody new, because you get to know their writing style. You get to know how they like their newsletter to look, because every single newsletter that I do is different, because every single person is different. And I don't come in and make you change to me. I come in and try to tap to you. And I come in and try to bring in suggestions that may make things easier. And we kind of balance things out to where they work for me, myself and my client. So that's kind of how I work. I'm a local girl. I grew up here in Washington. I went to grade school in Seattle. I went to junior high and high school in Mercer Island. I went to college in Arizona and came back home. So I've been here most of my life. I live in Redmond. I am married. I have a wonderful son and a great dog. And I'm also a caregiver or a guardian for my brother-in-law. And that's kind of who I am. I love to swim. I love to read. And I really love to do things for people. I guess I'm kind of a nurturer in that way. So that's basically me in a nutshell.
That was beautifully well said, and I think that is important in the having that love for people, because you're right, you are a nurturer and you are a caretaker, and your family means everything to you. And I know that you would even say, when you made these transitions, when you started to find jobs that filled your spirit, filled your soul, and it was part of your journey. You did this for a while, it was time to do this for a while, and then you went on to this. But in all of that, what was probably one of the key important things that I would think is because you had the support of your family and your husband, who believes, your husband is an amazing man and extremely supportive. And one of the things that is so important is the trust factor, and the fact that there is so much trust with you. You can have my credit card and I'm totally comfortable with it. And that's a huge trust thing, and little secrets about your clients. And you're so quiet and very respectful, but it's the word that you said to me a long time ago is you have very high integrity, and that your whole family has that. And that is part of your core values, is who you are, is that you are true to your word and you're integrous. And that is so important. Could you speak just a little bit to some of the clients that you worked, especially women, because you see us, you're a woman, you get it, you're a mom and a caretaker, and you had parents you're taking care of, and all of this stuff going on. What is it that women find when they finally call you up? Because part of it is a little bit of probably shame or embarrassment that, oh, I can't do it all, to calling you and going, oh my word, I'm going to show you my dirty underwear drawer, because sometimes that's what it's like. You come in and see our messes, and it's like seeing our dirty underwear drawer, and you're like, whoopee, no big deal. So you have no judgment, none of that so it's such a safe place to come. Just share, if you could, a little bit about what is it like when women come to you, finally feel brave enough and go, okay, here's my mess. This is the help I need, help. And what happens in the relationship, and what do you see come out of them afterwards?
Well, I think probably the one thing that I maybe not say all the time, but I try to make people comfortable with. One of my I don't know if it's a motto or a mission or whatever. One of the things that I believe in is, and this is through my whole work life, and it may be because I was brought up as a military brat, but I always believe if you make the person that you're doing something for, whether it's your husband or your partner, your client, or if you make them look good, that shines back on you. So I'm not one of those people who like always has to be out in the forefront. I've just never been that way. I mean, I guess that's why being an admin is a perfect job for me. Yeah, I've led things and run things and been successful at it, but I feel that my real purpose is to help people be better than they think they are, be more than they want to be everything they can be. So I am super loyal. I do not know everything. I've taken on things that people just said, you think you could do that? Sure, I can do it. And I do. I mean, just this week, in the last 2 weeks, I've taken on 4 new applications that I have never used before. And I have a gift for them. It's easy for me. One, I did have to reach out with somebody for 15 minutes and I caught on like that and away I went. So that's one thing that I'm really glad about, because I do use a lot of different applications and programs with different people. And I because you use them and you're comfortable with them, I want to be comfortable with them and not have to say, well, you know, I can't do that. So that's one thing that I'm really good at. And a lot of people, a lot of my clients aren't real familiar with their applications, or don't have a process and procedure in place. They're just kind of all over the place. And so I try and help them rein in those things and talk over those ideas and focus and set up things that will help them go through their daily day without having to pull their hair out, or without having to panic. And if you panic, call me. Let's talk it over and rein it all in and get on track again. Everybody gets off course every once in a while, even me. I'm not perfect. I don't do everything perfect, but I'm the first one to be there to get it right, to fix it, to do what it takes to make it better. And that's kind of my philosophy for things. I try to work hard, even if it's working till 5:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning to get something done. I'll do what it takes to get it done. And if I make a promise to you, I'll keep that promise. So, and if I can't do it, I'll be the first to tell you, I really cannot do that. But I will try almost anything and have been successful at many things that I've tried, so.
Oh boy, do I know that from firsthand experience, the things I've handed you. So and along those lines, I just love that, because you give people a real peace. And so they actually get more time to spend with their family. They get more to do the things for their own self-care, and they get time to do things that feed themselves so they can be better at what they do. And the other thing that I really respect about you is, if you see something not right or you question it, you're bold. You're not going to sit back and go, you're going to ask questions, because I have seen that when you ask those questions, it saves you so much time on the back end. And even to say, hey, this doesn't look congruent to what you're doing. Is this really the message you want? Is this really what you're doing? People need that, because it's like always having a good editor. You know, we need that sort of thing. So Sharon, how can people find you? If they're going, hey, I'd like to talk to you or learn a little more about you, how can they find you?
Okay, I'm at North Professionals. You can find me at sharon.north@northprofessionals.com. You can phone me at 425-941-1624. Okay. That's basically it. And I'm lucky. I just have to say, Jill alluded to it earlier, I'm lucky. I'm also supported by my husband and my son. My son does some of the work with me, and my husband as well. So, but I'm the majority of everything is done by me. I just kind of coordinate things, but some things, my son, like, he's good at video and editing and all that kind of stuff. So I let him handle that. My husband, he does a lot of the contracts and helping with process and procedures. And he likes to sometimes sit down with clients and help them get their businesses on track. So it's kind of a family deal, but I'm I'm the main kahuna here.
You are, and you do it so well. I mean, everybody says, I want to share it. I said, well, you can call her up. She's great. I thank you for plugging in today, and Sharon, I thank you for sharing the story. And we're going to sit back a little bit, you and I, and have some more conversation. We got a little work to do. And I see we have a guest here, and we'll see if she has any questions of you. But and in the video below here, you're going to see how to reach out to you. I'll get all that information. And I just want to thank you for being a part of Illuminating Women and helping us to illuminate other women, because we are a team, and the stronger your team, the better work you do. And I'm so, so grateful for you. So I want to thank you, and you have a great rest of your day. And thank you for plugging in Illuminating Women. Learn more about us at illuminatingwomen.com. You'll see Sharon there, and you can find her also. Because I mark about her all the time. Everybody needs to share it. Anyway, thanks again, Sharon. Bye-bye.
Bye.